Because if your business still relies on you remembering everything, following up with everyone, and being on all the time, you are not building freedom. You are building something fragile. Today, we're talking about why guessing feels productive, but is quietly sabotaging your growth. Hope is not a strategy. Guessing is not a strategy. And memory is not a system. Your brain is not meant to be the CRM of your business. Most entrepreneurs don't fail because they aren't smart. They fail because they're carrying too much in their head. Confused audience does nothing. Guessing creates stress. Systems create stability.
Still waking up thinking, what should I post? Who did I forget to follow up with? That's not strategy, that's guessing. In this episode, Jessica explains why guessing creates stress and inconsistency, and how one communication system can make your business reliable in 2026.
Hey there, and welcome back to The Digital Shift. I am Jessica Green, CEO and founder of the Self-Made Hub, business strategist, mentor, and unapologetic strategy and systems nerd, the visionary in all entrepreneurial things around here. And if you're new here, this is what I do. I help entrepreneurs, coaches, and business owners stop duct taping their businesses together and start building automated systems that actually scale without living their life on their phone and burning themselves out or constantly feeling behind. Today's episode is one I need you to hear, especially as we head deeper into 2026, because if your business still relies on you remembering everything, following up with everyone, and being on all the time, you are not building freedom. You are building something fragile that could crumble so easy, my friends. And I know because I've been there. I've told the story many times about me landing myself in my love sack for a number of months after a very long run of being on the hustle, spinning plates, and trying to run multiple businesses without systems and a little bit of strategy and just so much hustle that it literally did burn me out. And I did end up in a love sack in my living room, kind of wiping away the sweat and the tears at the same time and trying to figure out what my next move was. Hence how Self-Made Hub was born. But I digress. Today, we're talking about why guessing feels productive, but is quietly sabotaging your growth, and how to finally build a system that makes you money while you're out living your life, because we should all be taking some downtime. And the real problem is guessing. Let me describe something and tell me if this feels familiar. You just write it down. You wake up and you think, what should I post today? Who did I forget to follow up with today? Why did sales slow down? Is it my offer? Is it my content? Is it the algorithm? So you just keep guessing. You guess what to post. You guess which offer to push. You guess what your audience wants. And you guess why things worked last month and not this month. And here's the tricky part. Guessing, it feels productive. So for the first couple of years of Self-Made, I'll be transparent, there was a lot of guessing going on. We had never run exactly this type of business. And so we were throwing some noodles at the wall to see what would stick with a SaaS platform. And when it really came down to it, we have definitely figured out what our sweet spot is. SaaS is kind of in the background. The membership to our platform in the background. What we love to do is teach, train, and coach female entrepreneurs how to scale their businesses infusing tech, but learning how to use that tech, right? So the guessing felt productive. We were trying this and trying that. And ask Natasha, man, we were wearing ourselves out again. You're busy, you're doing things, you're reacting to things, but guessing doesn't build momentum. It tends to build anxiety and sleepless nights. And I literally can tell you from experience, because when your business runs on guesses, it also runs on emotion, and it's these highs and these lows and that entrepreneurial roller coaster. And emotional businesses aren't consistent businesses. They just aren't. They are very inconsistent. Hey, quick pause before we continue, because if you're listening to this podcast and thinking, I love this strategy, but the tech still feels overwhelming, you're not alone. That's why Tech Savvy School exists. Tech Savvy School is where entrepreneurs learn how to actually build the systems behind a scalable business. Funnels, automations, workflows, and tools explained in plain language, step by step. No guessing, no duct taping platforms together anymore, just clarity and confidence with the tech that supports your growth. This podcast helps you think differently about your business. Tech Savvy School helps you implement what you're learning. If you're ready to stop feeling stuck on the tech side of things in your business, visit techsavvyschool.com and explore the trainings. All right, let's get back to the episode. And here's the one thing I want you to hear. Hope is not a strategy. Guessing is not a strategy. And memory is not a system. Oh, I'll remember to do that later. I've got it. Did you write it down? Nope. It's all right here. When people tell me that, I just sit back and giggle a little bit. I feel like in my younger years, I could definitely remember a whole lot. But, as we start getting some success and some skill set and some years under our belt, we realize that memory is not a system. It's not repeatable. You can't train somebody on it. You can't you can't have an SOP on it. You can't have the things that you're going to need to scale just from keeping everything in memory. So here's why guessing kills scale. Most entrepreneurs don't fail because they aren't smart. They fail because they're carrying too much in their head. Your brain is not meant to be the CRM of your business. Your reminder system, your follow-up tracker, your sales process, when everything depends on you remembering, everything eventually will drop. All those balls just keep dropping. And if you don't have something or someone to run around catching them, you are going to start seeing leaks through the cracks in your business that you never wanted to be there in the first place. That's when you get missed DMs, forgotten follow-ups, leads that go completely cold, or I'll get to it later moments that cost you money. And here's the kicker. When sales feel inconsistent, you don't fix the system. You just try harder and you keep guessing at more posts, guessing at more launches, guessing at more everything. And you're hoping that your energy and your hustle is just going to get you through. But effort doesn't fix the broken infrastructure. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the 4 quadrants we coach and train on through building in systems to go high level, our master backbone to our tech. So everything's predictable, scalable, no matter the niche. It runs on 4 systems. We call them the 4 quadrants of scale. Quadrant 1, communication. Quadrant 2, traffic and visibility. Quadrant 3, business assets. And quadrant 4 is delivery and retention. And when these 4 work together, your business stops guessing because decisions are system-led, not emotion-led. And today we're going to start with one of the fixes that stop having all the guessing come first. So quadrant 1, it's the brain of your business. Quadrant 1 is communication. I want you to think of it this way. Communication is the brain, the cockpit, the thing that's going to hold everything together. Okay. It decides what happens when someone raises their hand. It decides how they're followed up with. It decides how trust is built. It decides how consistent you are. It decides how conversations can convert, and it decides what happens next automatically. If your business doesn't know what to do next, your audience won't know what to do next either. And a confused audience does nothing. So let me ask you something very honestly. If someone filled out a form, replied to a DM, or booked a call right now on like your social media, your website, whatever, would your business respond perfectly without you touching anything? Or does it live in your head that you have to follow up with them? Or does it just sit in your DMs and hopefully someday you get back to it? That's a real question to ask yourself. And what a real communication system actually does, it means that every email, text, and DM lands in one place. Every lead gets a response. Every conversation has a next step, and every follow-up happens automatically. Every prospect gets the same professional experience. And no, this doesn't make your business robotic. It makes it reliable. Automation doesn't remove the human touch, it protects it. Because now your relationships aren't dependent on your memory or your mood or when you get back to them. Here's the thing, people will avoid this. And here's why. The most important entrepreneurs, the most successful entrepreneurs, they avoid quadrant one, not because it isn't important, but because it feels uncomfortable. Tech feels overwhelming. They're afraid to mess it up. They tell themselves, I'll do it later. They think manual equals impersonal, right? Or I should say automated seems impersonal. Manual seems more personal. That's a better way to say it. I come across a lot of coaches, entrepreneurs, business owners that are trying still to keep everything in their head and not put a system to it, an automation to it. And that's not repeatable. It's not scalable. It will burn them out. And it's not something that you can pass on to other people because it's all in your head. So there's nothing documented that it actually works. You're just hoping, wishing, and praying that your hustle will keep up with all of the demands that you have in your business. Avoiding systems doesn't keep your business human. It just keeps it fragile. And short-term discomfort prevents long-term burnout. So stopping to put all of this in a system temporarily, or just slowing down to put it all in a system, will give you the long-term gains that you're looking for. So here's what fixing this actually looks like. This is the good news, okay? You don't need to rebuild your entire business. You don't need 12 tools to do it. You don't need a year-long overhaul. You start with one quadrant. You build it once, and then you let it run. And that's why inside of our GoHighLevel Made Simple Lab, we start with quadrant one. Because once communication's clean, guessing stops, follow-up becomes automatic, conversations start to convert for you on autopilot, and everything else works better, and you're not chasing your tail. We help you set up your email and your SMS properly. We help you have one clean inbox for everything. We help you have a CRM that actually tracks humans and their behavior and all the data. It's amazing what it looks like. If you want to just check out what the CRM looks like and the data that you can track and the journey from ads or social through everything they hit, I call it their digital footprint in our CRM. You can see every prospect's digital footprint. You can measure it, you can study it, you can see what's working, what's not working, who's getting followed up with, who isn't getting followed up with, and everything in between. And data drives decisions because it will drive your dollars. Follow-up that feels personal and predictable, all put in place, not complicated, not overwhelming, just correct. So if you're listening to this thinking, okay, this is exactly why my business feels scattered, that's not an accident. And if you're done guessing, done chasing, done relying on memory, the GoHighLevel Made Simple Lab, it exists for this exact moment. We don't teach everything at once. We build the system that removes chaos immediately. Let me leave you with this. Guessing creates stress. Systems create stability. And your business doesn't need more hustle. It needs the brain. It needs you to stop guessing and driving your decisions based on data and systems that actually work. And you know they work because you can repeat them and they work again the second time. You can't do that all in your brain. And we can start operating from a much more educated place. So I hope I will see you inside the lab. You can grab your spot at www.self-made.biz/lab, or find the link below this episode and we'll get you started right away. If you're getting value from these conversations, don't let this be the only episode that you listen to. Every episode of this podcast is designed to help you build a smarter business, one with real systems behind the scenes, not just ideas, motivation, or hustle. We break down what's actually working right now when it comes to automation, content, follow-up, and scaling without the burnout. If you want to see how all of this comes together in real life, I highly recommend watching the Self-Made Hub demo. Inside the Self-Made Hub, you'll see how entrepreneurs turn content into leads and leads into conversations and conversations into consistent sales using simple automated systems that don't feel overwhelming or cold. You can watch the demo anytime at self-made.biz/demo. Then queue up another episode because the shift doesn't happen from one conversation. It happens when you start connecting all the dots. And I'll see you in the next episode.